Welcome back to TalkNorth.com. Thank you for listening. If you can, please download before you listen. It helps our business. I'd also like to thank our producer, Brandon Morton, and let you know if you'd like to sponsor this program or any of the programs on the network, you can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. Let's talk about the best team in hockey. As we've been saying all season, it was. I don't know where anybody got the idea that anybody on this podcast would criticize the Minnesota Wild. We all saw this streak coming. This is the Russo-Souhan Show, our hockey show on TalkNorth.com. Check out our other shows, Jeff Diamond, Tim Yoder, Roy Smalley, Cheryl Reeve, John Krasinski, all kinds of other stuff at TalkNorth.com. We also have an upgraded website. Check it out. Promo this week, BiteSquad.com in honor of the state hockey tournament. If you use the promo code HOCKEY when you order, you'll get 10% off your entire order anytime Wednesday through Sunday, the week of the state hockey tournament. We'll have different deals with Bite Squad involving different shows as the month goes on. That's this week's deal. Check it out. Thanks to our producer, Brandon Morton. Please download before you listen. You can follow us on Twitter at TalkNorthPod. And if you'd like to advertise with us, you can reach us at TalkNorthPodcast@gmail.com. Thanks quickly to our other sponsors, Twill and the Dining Galleria, FixologyRepair.com, and Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent in Champlin. So, Michael, how surprised are you that this team went on this impressive 7-game streak?
Well, I mean, they're playing really tough games. And, again, the shame of it is that these last 2 games were so winnable. And so I think the last time we did a podcast, it was right after the Winnipeg win. And then they go to Calgary and play a really good team that had won 7 in a row. And they won there, got another really fine big goal from Ryan Donato and some much better play from guys like Zucker and Stahl and some really quality play from guys like Eric Sinek and people like that. Ryan Suter and Jared Spurgeon got a great goaltending performance from Dubnyk. Then they came home for that really tough back-to-back. Blew the game late, which has been their trademark this year. Look, that was a good point. And last night in Nashville was a good point, but the reality is that this has happened 20 times or so this year where the Wild have had a lead or been tied in the third period and didn't secure both points. And that's the type of stuff that if they miss the playoffs, it's sort of that's what you pin it on. And so I'm trying not to be too negative. They have points in 7 straight, but these are the games that the Minnesota Wild used to be able to lock down, and they just haven't been all year long, not just since the trades. Not so, you can't blame this on the fact that they don't have Granlund, Coyle, Niederreiter. This has been a season-long problem. And, frankly, at times, I don't know what it is about them in the third period, but they're not the same team. And so they've got to figure out a way to these final 15 or so games here or less, actually. 14, 15. I'm not even positive. They've got to figure out a way to secure all and maximize these points when they can get them.
By the way, what's up with Bruce lately? Some of these games, he looks like he just slept in his car.
I don't know. A lot of stress.
I guess so.
I think he's worried these are probably his last 14 games as the Wild coach. I would say that's fair. And, he wants badly to make the playoffs. But I don't know. I know he forgot his razor in Calgary. A lot of people pointed that out.
Yeah, that was probably the game I'm mentioning. Yeah. And listen,
he looked quite dapper yesterday in Nashville.
And by the way, for context, I usually look like crap when I'm in a hockey arena. I put on 18 layers and a hat, so I'm not really looking down on Bruce. I just was hoping he was feeling okay.
No, he's feeling fine. Trust me. I think he's stressed though about his job.
Yeah. Tell me more about Fiala because he's scoring goals that we usually don't see Minnesota Wild players score.
Yeah, last night that bar down shot was just a beautiful shot, and that you're right. Those are the type of plays that we don't see. Set face-off play, great face-off win by Eric Stahl after really not being good in the circle all night long. The team and Stahl, and the puck caroms back glances off Parisi's skate and right to him, and it's off his stick in a second. And Rene couldn't react, and so huge goal. And we saw him score in two variety of ways yesterday. I mean, you have the snipe for the tying goal with 2 minutes 18 seconds left, but that first period kind of stutter step that just really deked PK Subban way out of the play and fooled him, and then he beats Rene with another great shot there. So 9 shot attempts the night before, or 2 nights before, at home against Nashville, 4 shots on goal, tons of dipsy doodles and things like that. And then same thing last night. So he clearly has the skill that Paul Fenton has said that he has had. Now he's just got to clean up the rest of his game. Offensive players are never going to be, or most offensive players are never going to be perfect in their own zone. But the one thing that Fiala has that he needs to get rid of is he's got a lot of Jason Zucker in him in his own zone. I mean, both Zucker and Fiala are almost identical, the way that these guys will just, casual, no-look passes off the wall into the middle of the slot that could be big-time turnovers. And so he's got to get rid of that. But offensively, he has it. And now it's just a matter of, as he gains confidence and gets the quality ice time that Bruce Boudreau is going to give him, he's got to continue to light the lamp, because as we know, I mean, this team can't score goals very easily. They do have a lot of young kids in their lineup, besides Fiala and Donato, that are goal scorers, but guys that will go MIA once in a while. And we've seen it. I mean, Luke Cunnin wasn't very good last night. Jordan Greenway was absolutely invisible. Donato had his worst game with the Wild. And so this stuff happens when you have a lot of young kids. So when you have a goal scorer or a guy with the potential of being a goal scorer like Fiala, the hope is that now with his confidence that he is going to show up every single night.
The other thing I like about Fiala is, Parisi is not a huge guy. Granlund was a very small guy. Nino was a good sized guy, but he wasn't big. Coyle had, a real professional athlete's body, but he just didn't produce. Fiala looks like he has a combination of strength, speed, and skill.
Yeah, he doesn't have the size, but you're right. I mean,
not height, but he's put together.
Yeah, he's strong. Yeah, he's absolutely. And that'll continue to get. And we saw last night, I mean, the one thing I will say that I was very concerned about watching him in Winnipeg and in Calgary is the burst of speed that we had heard so much about forever since he was drafted in the first round 5 years ago. Where did it go? And I wondered if it maybe went with his broken femur, which would be completely understandable. But last night and the game at home against Nashville, we saw those eruptions. And, the one thing that Paul Fenton has said about him is that he believes that Kevin Fiala can be a quote, game breaker. And to me, I worried that he wouldn't be a game breaker because he didn't have the eruption, the explosiveness to his stride anymore. And last 2 games, we've absolutely seen it. That guy can fly when he wants to fly. And so that's a really, that is something that I think all Wild fans should be excited about.
We're going to do some Twitter questions later in the show, catch up on those since there's a studio show. By the way, we want to do this show live at least once a month. We have drawn a lot of people to our shows. We bring in a large audience. They have dinner, they have drinks, they hang out. They patronize wherever we do the shows. I highly recommend, if you know anybody who owns a bar or a restaurant or even a business, give us a shot. We can help you out, and we can work pretty reasonably too. Check that out. And we want to thank our longtime sponsor, Twill, in the Edina Galleria, TWILLMN.com, TWILL on Instagram. Scott Dayton roams the world looking for cool stuff. I buy a lot of it. Check him out.
Jim usually doesn't like to shop for clothes. I don't like it when he shops for clothes either, because he used to buy stuff I'd want to throw out. That's why I'm so glad he's found Twill in the Edina Galleria. He likes shopping there because of the comfortable environment and the friendly staff. He finds clothes that actually fit him properly and are high-quality brands that will look great for years, whether he's golfing or working. Our favorites so far are Peter Millar, Johnny O, and Barber. We spend our money at Twill because we love the clothes and we love the no-pressure shopping. Drop by Twill in the Edina Galleria for the best shopping experience and best clothes you'll find in the Twin Cities.
How about Donato? What's your take on Donato so far?
Good. It doesn't skate great. A very unusual looking skater as well. Even strength is one area where you just wonder if he's going to be able to complement his line mates. I think he's the type of player that that Bruce is going to have to find him the perfect type of line mates to kind of complement him, because same thing. I mean, he doesn't have the real strength to go out and battle and things like that. Power play, he's very he's very, very creative. I love the way that he shoots the puck. It's kind of his first thought every single time, but he's got the ability to make plays. And last night in overtime, cuts to the middle of the ice and gets hooked by Granlund and forces a power play that should have won the game right there for the Wild, and they didn't get it done. I didn't love the personnel that Bruce threw on the ice there. It was, if I remember, it was Stahl, Suter, Aberg, and Fiala. Love the Stahl, and I like Stahl as the net front guy there. I love Fiala on the ice there. Well deserved. But to me, I know it. I mean, we've seen it with the Wild. I mean, we know the way that it is to coach this team. But I don't like that Suter's out there. I think that it should have been Hunt. And I don't get Aberg. I mean, if you feel like you need a righty out there, throw Cunnin even, or throw Spurgeon. I just don't get the Aberg decision there. I got to assume that Parise didn't love not being out there, but I think Parise was on the ice when they drew the penalty to begin with. But to me, I would have had Parise or Stahl and changed up the guys on the back there. So that's the one thing. But to get back to your original question, I think Donato's going to be fine here. But I just he's got a lot of warts in his game, also in his own end. And these are the type of things that I think that the coaching staff over time are going to have to probably remedy with a lot of their skilled players, because you just can't have, last night Zach in his own zone, Zucker in his own zone, Fiala in his own zone. These guys were throwing pucks away left and right, and those things could be disastrous. And then the other guy that is just alarming right now is Potato. I just watched the game again today, and it's the amount of odd man rushes that he gives up, the amount of times he turns over the puck with no pressure is a huge problem. And I do feel that Bruce feels like he's in a position, whether he's being told to or not, he feels like he's got to play Potato over Sealer. And I just think that's wrong. To me, Sealer got you here. Potato is not nearly as good right now, and I would play Sealer.
Sounds logical to me. Let's get to, since we talked about Fiala and Donato, let's get to Hebert and Rask. First, I want to thank FixologyRepair.com. Fixology Repair, third floor of the Mall of America by Nordstrom's, and downtown in the Skyway, right by Dunn Brothers, Taco John's, just south of the Wells Fargo Center.
There are some things in life that you just can't live without. Now, whether it's a special piece of jewelry, a watch, or even your smartphone, you want it in working condition. At Fixology Repair, we are committed to restoring your pieces so that everything works or fits the way it ought to. Watch servicing, chain repair, and broken screen replacements are just a few of the services that we offer at our two locations, Mall of America and the Skyway in downtown Minneapolis. Please visit us at FixologyRepair.com or at FixologyMN on Twitter to learn more. Mention this ad and get a 10% discount on our services.
So how about Hebert and Rask? What's your take so far?
Well, I mean, Rask has been hurt, and he obviously has I won't say what the injury is, but it's a significant one, and luckily I saw on social media the other day he is alive. And so now the question is, when can he get back? He looks like he's working out really hard in the gym. And now it's, can they get him back this season, or is it going to be done for the year, or done for at least the regular season? But look, slow feet. He's somebody that I think that's a major problem, and it's not going to be aided coming back by this lower body injury. So we'll see if that works out. I think I mentioned on the last podcast, the thing that concerns me is I think Eriksson Ek's playing great right now. And to me, coming into next season, it would be horrific, a horrible move by everybody in this organization if Eriksson Ek doesn't get the rope to be a top 9 center. And right now he's contending with, again, Stahl and Stahl and Koivu and Rask. And I don't like that he's being blocked out or potentially blocked out. Aberg, it's going to be an interesting decision this offseason if they even qualify him. He's a restricted free agent. I think he could do better. He's got a lot of warts in his game. Scored his first goal last night on a great shot. But just to me, we don't see the effort a lot of times. And, he's somebody that's supposed to skate well. And we saw Yossi take him to school last night on the tying goal. The thing with Aberg is, to me, it's all about effort. He's got so many things that we now see why he drove Randy Carlyle nuts in Anaheim. He plays when he wants to play. Perfect example is Calgary. When he